is a movement. And initially, I didn't see it as such. When Andy and Polly came to my home 2 years ago, Vaxxed didn't have a name. Gave my story because I had been telling this story. Matter of fact, when I was displaced for Katrina in 2005 in Austin, I met Dr. Wakefield for the first time, and I took a straight to him and told a simple story. I told his story over and over about what had happened to my son. And I didn't really know about his work until around 2004 because I'd been busy. Three young children right together, that's enough to keep any mother busy on top of having to work with autism and a disability that no one knew about. So when they came, my story was just going to be clips that he would use to raise fee. I was surprised when he called me last February and that it is now called The Vaxxed. It is a documentary and it will be used, it will be filmed or featured at Tribeca. And he was a little skeptical. He said, I hope it gets through. And I never worried because when he told me that immediately, I said, thank you, Lord. In 2014, when I got a call from my good friend James Grunnett, who told me that there was a whistleblower, and he told me before it came out, Dr. Thompson, who is saying exactly what I have been stating all along, all those years, that it was the MMR. I felt a sense of relief. And I said, thank you, Lord. Everything that I've asked you for is coming to fruition. Let what has been hidden come to the light, and let the lies that have traveled for so far run smack dab into the truth. And that's what is occurring right now. So when I think about Vaxxed, and I always call it a documentary, I know it's Vaxxed, the movie, but it is actually a documentary. It is a documentary that tells the truth about what has occurred and what is going on and the players who were all involved in the cover up and the conspiracy. You see, they call us conspiracy theorists, but we're not. The conspirators were the ones who hid the truth in the beginning because they didn't care. They didn't care that it had 240% causation rate of autism in blacks because they've always used blacks as guinea pigs. And as long as those players thought it didn't hurt anyone else, they covered it up. But they didn't see the avalanche coming. And the avalanche came so hard and so powerful. Now we have a pandemic around the world of these children. So, Vaxxed to me is the vehicle that God has used to bring out the truth. It has started the movement that is now leading into a peaceful revolution. That's where we are. I've traveled and spoken at many Q&As. I traveled initially with the VAX team, and then I would get private requests to come and speak. I've gone in and I've spoken to legislators across the country from people who've asked to represent and help legislators understand where we are because our country is under attack. Our Constitution, our sovereignty, and our bodily children is under siege, and it's state by state. Now that's where our fight is, and that's what I plan to do. I plan to continue to work with groups state by state, going in speaking to legislators. And I've heard so much, why beg them? It's not a matter of begging them. These are the people that we have elected to represent us and represent the Constitution, which states that we have a right to the pursuit of happiness and liberty. Our bodies are sovereign, just as states are sovereign, and no elected official has the right to mandate a biologic that goes that is injectable in our children's bodies or our bodies without our informed consent. They know that. The National Institute of Health states that. It's a code that they have to understand before they can even take that seat in office. Every health official understands that. It's a Nuremberg Code, and it is the code by which our Constitution states that we have a right to our bodily sovereignty. So that's where I'm at right now, and I have a lot of other things going on. And I'm sure that they're going to hear about Vaxxed no matter how many other movies come out or documentaries come out. Vaxxed is going to go down in history as the start of the movement to protect our choice as parents and as individuals in this country that stands on the premise of a democratic republic.